Hello there guys, Captain Invisible here, and these brave men have volunteered to die in my name. It's very brave of them. I've given them shields to do that. So I'm in command of Hungary, and my opponent is Lavernicus in command of Spain. Lavernicus is a good friend of mine online, so we'll see how this goes. I have 2 units of Slav levies in my front. I've got 4 units of Pavis crossbow militia. On the flank I've got a unit of Pavis spearmen on this flank and one on the other flank as a supporting screening role. I've got a unit of hussars on each flank in loose formation. On my front rank I've got 6 units of dismounted feudal knights. Hungary does have access to dismounted chivalric knights as well, but the feudal knights are slightly better in my opinion. My general is in a general's bodyguard unit, and I've got 3 units of the Royal Bandarium heavy cavalry. Very good cavalry. They've got very good fatigue, which is a quite nice trait to have. Lavernicus has 5 units of Pavis crossbowmen, so he clearly outranges me in the skirmish, so we'll see how that goes. He's got 1 unit of these Genites on the flank as a supporting role cavalry. He's got 3 units of dismounted conquistadors on that flank and another 2 units of conquistadors on his other flank, and he's got 3 units of dismounted chivalric knights in his centre and a unit of feudal knights backing them up, and he's got 4 units of chivalric knights, and his general is in a general's bodyguard unit. There he is. Right, so let's begin the battle and we'll see how this plays out. Lavernicus is a really good player, so this should be a very close match, if anything. So I'm going to move my army this way to hopefully catch Lavernicus off guard. But Lavernicus sees what I am doing and he's going to reposition his army to face me. So he's clearly paying attention to my movements very carefully. What he probably won't expect though is my light cavalry swinging out to this flank, hopefully to catch his men whilst they're on the move. So they're just coming up now, but he sees them and he's going to send some cavalry after them. But regardless, I'm going to try and sneak past them and hopefully catch these crossbowmen. So I do manage to catch them and get a few kills, and I'm going to try and pull out of there before I get caught by his cavalry. I have been snagged slightly on his cavalry, but I managed to pull away from them before they do too much damage. And whilst he's distracted on that flank, my other unit of hussars is going to come in and hit these Pavis crossbowmen whilst they're reloading. So we're going to see what damage I can do there. So taking them all the way down to 17, and routed them as well, so very good charge there by those hussars. I'm going to pull out before his heavy knights catch me. And I'm going to have another cheeky charge against these Pavis crossbowmen. Take that one all the way down to 29, 28, so another good charge there. So it looks like I've routed all his crossbowmen on this flank. I am going to lose that hussar unit, but it probably will come back later on. I decided to pull out this hussar unit. They've both done considerable damage to his crossbowmen, so I want to save it for later. So yeah, as you can see, I've managed to rout or destroy quite a lot of his crossbowmen. So now it looks like I have the superior skirmish contingent of the battle. so I'm going to utilise that and move them all up to engage. Just take a few close-ups to these Royal Bandarian. They are probably one of my favourite cavalry units. Really great heavy cav. Very good cav from Hungary. So yeah, it's just reforming these damaged crossbowmen. My light cav there did a really good job of equalising the skirmish fight. More to in my favour. So I'm going to regroup my hussars on this flank and see what else I can do with them. My Slav levies are doing their job. They're taking crossbow bolts to the face. They do have shields to protect their faces, but unfortunately they're still going to die to crossbow bolts. But that's their job. Yeah, I brought them to act as a meat screen for my crossbowmen to hopefully take some of the shots. So they're doing their job. It's not a nice job, but they are doing it. So good job, guys. Dying in my name. So I'm going to return fire with my own Pavis crossbows and see what damage I can do to his own crossbowmen. I should have the superior numbers now, so I should be able to slowly get an advantage in this fight. So it looks like there's some movement from Lavernicus, just shifting his cavalry, I think, to spread them out a bit further to cover his entire line. And he's got a unit of janitors here covering his crossbowmen. He really doesn't want a repeat of the initial stages of the battle. So yeah, still firing away, taking some losses from his crossbowmen. But I think I'm dealing more damage to his crossbowmen than he is to mine. His damage is going to be more widespread to my crossbowmen. So I'm going to move this hussar back onto this flank. Let's try and spread my light cav potential. And in response, Lavernicus is going to move some heavy knights to protect his crossbowmen, and he's sent his janitors probably off to the other flank to counter my own light cav movements over there. So seeing these weakened crossbowmen, I want to get rid of them completely, so I'm sending my light cav over to try and charge them. It looks like I'm going to get them before the heavy cav comes in. Catch them and take them down quite a bit, but it does catch me with this heavy cav, and I'm now stuck in this fight with heavy cav, which is not a fight that my light hussars want to be in. So they are going to take a lot of damage and eventually rout to these heavy chivalric knights. So it looks like one of his Pavis crossbowmen have got an attack order on a unit that's too far away, so they've moved up to try and engage it a bit closer to my own lines. Here's my Slav levies just chilling out, getting shot at. I'm sure they're enjoying that. So Lavernicus is shifting his line slightly back and slightly to the left, and seeing this, I'm going to move this unit of hussars forward and charge this now isolated unit of Pavis crossbowmen. He's going to send his janitors to try and intercept, and they are quite fast cavalry, the janitors, so I'm going to pull my hussars back because I don't want them getting caught by them. So my Slav levies are reforming. Clearly they care a lot about their formation. Okay, so still got good numbers of crossbowmen. And his crossbowmen are severely weakened. It looks like there's some more movement from Lavernicus. He's just repositioning his lines. Looks like he's got quite powerful infantry. In fact, his infantry is probably stronger than mine. So if he were to attack me, it'd certainly be in his favour in that kind of situation. But at the moment he's content with me shooting at him at long distance, which I'm more than happy to accept. Lavernicus, seeing the danger from my crossbowmen, has decided that he's going to rush. His heavy infantry, as I say, is probably stronger than mine, so it's a very smart play by him, and he's utilising his strength there by charging his infantry forward. His janitors are going to get a quick strike on my crossbowmen. Nice initial strike. But I am going to react with my spearmen, and the janitors are going to get snagged on them and get attacked. My Royal Bandarium are coming up to engage the Chivalric Knights to try and stop them from charging my crossbowmen. Looks like one of my Slav levies have routed, and here I get quite a nice charge with my Royal Bandarium on one of these conquistadors. If you ever see infantry without cav support, you should always charge them. Unfortunately, I do lose that unit of Royal Bandarium on that engagement. Here my Pavis crossbowmen engage some Chivalric Knights that are already held up by Royal Bandarium, so that's a good fight. And I've got infantry engaging his, some feudal knights against his conquistadors. Again, not an even fight for my feudal knights. Looks like I'm going to pull them out and find a more suitable target. I've got my general running around. He's going to have to get stuck in because it looks like my cav is getting overpowered by his, and my infantry is not in a position to handle his either. My Pavis spearmen have routed from this fight. It looks like they've come back, and his cavalry looks like it's had some success on this flank.
Lord be merciful, we have lost half of
His
our men.
janitors are still running strikes on my crossbowmen, and now they're going to strike my infantry in the back. So Lavernicus has been really good with his cavalry in this fight, and his infantry has just done its job at overpowering my feudal knights all across the field. My general is trying his hardest to try and run hammer and anvils on these engaged infantry, but he's got lots of crossbowmen firing at him. I didn't do such a good job of completely getting rid of Lavernicus's crossbows. So it's just some feudal knights engaging some Chivalric Knights, fighting desperately to hold them back. There's some units in here, some feudal knights and cavalry getting surrounded. My Pavis spearmen tried to engage these infantry to try and stop them and free up some space, but it's a futile attempt, to be honest. It's not going to do much. So I've only got a handful of infantry left, just engaging some infantry over this side, but Lavernicus has completely won on this side. He's completely taken my infantry here, and he's still got good numbers at this side, so he's going to be able to counter-attack me now with these conquistadors. and he gets a good charge off here against my feudal knights, which I'm not going to like being attacked in that position at all. So last remaining feudal knights holding the ground very valiantly, and a single Royal Bandarian knight charging in, hoping to make a difference. But as I say, at this stage it's quite a futile attempt. My general, being the last brave man in his unit, is fighting desperately, but unfortunately takes a crossbow bolt to the eye and goes down. A very brave general, but like all brave men, dying in combat. So yeah, there's a few straggling units, but overall Lavernicus has taken this battle. He is a really good player, and I expected nothing less, to be honest. He's certainly improved since the last time I faced him. I did face him a couple of times a few months ago. This was well played by Lavernicus, and he did a really good job in this battle. So I'll leave you in the results. I do have another battle with Lavernicus coming up, so I'll make sure I post that one for you as well. You can check out those results. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe. Thank you very much.